Ladies and gentlemen, analysts and associates, welcome to your Managing Director Secretary's favorite podcast, the Big Swinging Dex Podcast by Litquidity and Mark Moran. This is not financial advice. You'd be a bottom bucket analyst to make investment decisions based on what is discussed on this show.
Welcome back to Big Swinging Dex. Lit, how are you doing?
Missing you, Mark. You should be in the office today, but can you tell our shareholders where you are reporting from?
I am boots on the ground in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. God's country over here. Yeehaw! Why am I here? I'm here because they just got internet. Email has made its way to Oklahoma, and it's just a phenomenal place to be in 7-degree weather with a snowstorm. But I actually came for a movie that we are helping to finance that's going to be called The Line. Last episode, we came up with an idea called Cash or Pass, where I'm going to run through a bunch of crazy, wild, humorous business ideas, and you, as Bain Capital Ventures' newest scout, we're going to decide if we cash in on them or pass on them. What do you think?
You're going to get me in a lot of trouble, Mark, but let's do it.
Well, you know, as our shareholders know, this is not investment advice. But listen, maybe for the VCs out there who are listening, I don't know if these ideas have come to fruition yet. I'll give a little bit of background. About an hour ago, I texted all of my friends, and I just copy and pasted the same message of, hey, I need some business ideas. So these are coming from a majority of my friends, and I have not fully read all of them. So we'll see what we got.
Fuck. All right. Well, I think in subsequent episodes, we'll have to go poll the audience on Instagram and Twitter. So should be good.
I feel that our audience will have similar business proposals to the ones that we're about to read through, and I could not be more excited. All right, without further ado, Lit, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Cash or pass? So earlier today, this kind of came about naturally, organically, if you will. I was on Twitter, and I was just very curious. So Rick's Cabaret, which is a strip club, it's owned by RCI, which is a publicly traded company. The stock ticker is Rick. And I just tweeted, what's their plan for the metaverse? And wouldn't you know it, but their CEO actually replied to me on his handle. And he was basically saying that he can't discuss it, but they have some plans. And for me, that was about as much high-level CEO interaction that I had on Twitter today as I did my time in investment banking.
There you go. As you mentioned, I just pulled up their stock and see that they actually closed at a nice $69 even.
Exactly. They should just trade there permanently.
I think so. I mean, a nice $600 million market cap company. It's perfect.
Their stock has actually outperformed Facebook over the last 5 years.
Has it?
Yeah. Remember that graphic I threw up there a few months ago?
I guess you did. I honestly don't remember anything.
It's true. It's true. It's just a fact.
I just
Everyone
call you
knows.
out for the ones where you need to go to horny jail.
Hey, you know what? Well, with that being said, let's get into these because some of the people who submitted these may have to get bonked and go to horny jail. So, all right, strip club in the metaverse, cash or pass?
Well, are we doing rapid fire or should I ask some diligence questions here?
Either or. Like, if you think it's such a good idea, let's just cash it immediately. If you got questions, let's do some due diligence.
Okay, so tell me, how is this going to work? Like, are you actually getting fulfillment out of this?
Haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe there's like some component with like a doll in real life that would actually kind of create.
Okay.
It's almost like a full service software company at that point, because then you'd have to buy the doll and everything too. So that could be another opportunity for this future area for Rick's.
Got it. Yeah, it's got a little Peloton, physical mixed with the digital element. I like it. Metaverse right now is all the rage. So like if you say metaverse, right, you're going to get 10 times multiple on anything if you weren't in the metaverse. So I'll go with cash.
Okay, cash that. I was just laughing too because the CEO, he replies and he's like, as we are not just a brick and mortar only company, and it's like just to describe a strip club as a brick and mortar, like it just cracked me up. But it's a hospitality business.
Yeah.
All right. So next cash or pass. So I'm in Oklahoma City right now, as we alluded to at the top of this. And I've been shocked, absolutely shocked at the number of weed dispensaries here. There are, I mean, oftentimes the same number of Baptist churches as there are weed dispensaries on the same street. And so one of our shareholders, Harris Armstrong, submitted on Twitter, church weed dispensary combo, cash or pass?
Well, I mean, first I'm going to need to diligence the weed. So can you smuggle some up, over to New York when you're coming back, so we can.
I'll see what I can do about that, boss.
Okay. Well, have you smelled it? Is it good?
Look, like they say, go there for the Lord for church, and then stay for the devil's lettuce. That's what I was taught in Sunday school.
So tell me a little bit more about this then. How does this church and weed work together?
Well, so basically the Catholic Church and the Vatican, they front the money, right, to the weed growers. So then they grow the weed and then it gets transported. So there's a whole transportation industry element to this. That goes to then, it has to be in Oklahoma, just the laws are like that. I didn't write them, but they are. I've done a lot of research. And, then it goes in the church. The interesting thing, though, sales are unique because they pick up more on Sunday than they do any other day of the week, obviously, with more people at the church.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Fuck it. We're gonna say cash, okay?
Cash,
because it's a regulatory play, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's going to become legalized, so yeah, a lot of synergies with the Lord and the lettuce.
Can we insert a legalize it? Who is that? Sean Paul?
Due to the fact that Mark and Lit have not obtained a license to use the copyrighted material, we will not be playing the aforementioned song. The production team has made this very clear on several occasions, but they have apparently chosen not to listen.
All right. Next one, contact lenses for chickens. And so this is one that actually, when I was in business school, when I was in business school at Darden, this was like a legit case. I didn't do the reading. So I just get there and people are like, they made Excel models for this shit. And they're like, well, when you look at the market, I'm like, yo, you're talking about making contact lenses for chickens? Like, that's bullshit. And then I was like, look, I didn't do the reading, though. I have no other thing to base that off of. And then, we go through this for 80 minutes. And then they're like, yeah, well, Mark was ultimately right because we never did anything and the business idea went to shit. But there's a Washington Post article on it. I'll send you.
Yeah, well, I mean, just why would chickens need contact?
They fight each other in the coops, and so the contact lenses would kind of cut off their side vision so that they couldn't really fight with each other. So, it's an inventory play to keep the chickens alive for Tyson Chicken, produce more chicken.
I see. Okay, well, then maybe I was too quick to pass, but you know what? I'm just going to pass. Okay. I'm not gonna say
pass on that one. All right. Yeah. So then daycare and a nursing home, it's allowing the people in a nursing home to get contact with kids and stuff. And we're having a crisis for childcare workers.
Is this what?
All right, fine. Pass.
Yeah, pass.
NFTs of porn. Cash or pass?
Cash.
Okay.
Simps never, ever underestimate the power of Simpenomics.
Fair enough. That's the quote of the day. Next one for cash or pass, Metaverse Bodyguard.
What's the use case here? I mean, are we talking about that video of the guy going to the bar and getting into the fight, or...
Yeah, it could be for actual reasons. It could be for clout, whatever. Like, if you need a bodyguard in real life, you can have one in the metaverse.
Can it be like a bored ape? Like your bored ape.
Oh, it's like your NFT is guarding you? We'll have to talk to our developers about that and see.
Well, my cash is only contingent on that being possible.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So TBU on that one. Next one for cash or pass, flirting as a service. So you're bad at flirting, you're kind of outsourcing it to someone else. It's kind of a software-enabled play. So it'd be FAAS, FAS.
Fast. I like that. I mean, and then you're going to have a high-touch human component there, saying what kind of flirting strategy you want to go after. Do you want to be aggressive, which don't want to get into that, especially with Dave Portnoy's news.
Well, it'd be a highly tailored service. How I envision this, that you're really getting to know your concierge, if you will. It could kind of also venture into first dates as a service, and really kind of taking out all that time that you waste when you show a person doesn't look like their pics, something like that. Just outsourcing it to someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
going
like
back to
a pass for you.
No.
Oh.
Back to the NFT of porn. Remember, don't underestimate the power of Simpenomics.
Fair enough.
Simps have lots of money to spend. You see it in OnlyFans. You see it in porn. You see it everywhere. So, and strip clubs. So a lot of themes here. I mean, I'm probably inclined to say cash for anything relating to simping. So
okay,
let's see what else you got.
I got a few more of those then in the simp category. So the next one comes from a friend, Aaron. Shout out to him in business school right now. So it is, quote, making a sponge that fits behind bed. So when you railing out your chick, the headboard doesn't bang. Sell them to colleges, hotels, etc.
Oh no. Good idea. I don't see any.
Our producer is he's throwing money at this idea. Red loves it.
What's stopping someone else from making a sponge or putting a towel?
Well, we trademark it and stuff. Obviously, make it proprietary. Have a cool design.
Okay, well, I'm going to go against my Simpenomics theory here and say pass on that one.
Okay.
I don't see enough defensibility here. I mean, you could put anything.
It doesn't have a moat. You're right.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, too, is how many kids in college have headboards, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what those were until like a few years ago. This girl's like, you got to get a headboard. Like, dude, it's not cool.
You still don't have a headboard, right? I hear.
I got a headboard. I no sponges, though.
Oh. Feel bad for your neighbors.
So pass on that one. All right, then the next one is coming from another friend. This is, quote, lived with a guy in college who got paid to jack off horses at a local farm. He was into agriculture or whatever. I'm sure there's something you could run with. I think that's a job already. Jerking off horses.
I think that's a job, not a business. So pass.
Okay.
But
what if it was not just cows or horses? What if it was like all animals?
No. I'm not into that. Are you? I mean,
no. Despite being from Virginia, it's look. We're talking about business ideas, not what we do personally.
Well, yeah. This is a hard pass.
Hard pass.
There's
okay.
Emphasis on hard.
Okay. Next one is antivirus lube, so you can have sex COVID free.
Big Tam.
Huge. I'm cashing on that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of, there's some headwinds there, okay, because I've been seeing some data that people just aren't having as much sex as they used to.
The virginity rates are going up.
Exactly. So, it's interesting. I mean, that one requires you having sex, right? If we're going back to Simpenomics, you can flirt, you're going to pay for that, but it doesn't ultimately lead into sex. Same with NFTs of porn, so... I don't know. I'm on the fence here. Let's go with pass for now.
That's a very interesting and enlightened perspective, Lit. Thank you for sharing that with the shareholders.
There's more behind the memes here.
All right, next one on cash or pass. Quote, this is from another friend. Quote, it's a barbershop.
Are you sure they're actually from Friends?
Well, not the show. They're from my friend. Yeah, I'll show you the group chats. Okay. I had the first 6 were mine.
I just need to make sure that you're not a completely sick fuck.
Oh, well, you should have vetted that before hiring me. So, now it's Pervert Podcast. All right, quote, it's a barbershop in a prostitution-friendly jurisdiction where you get your, okay, we're not going to say that, you get yours sucked while you get a haircut. It's called head service.
This would do well in Amsterdam. This would do well in Bangkok.
Didn't they just decriminalize prostitution in New York?
Yeah, I think, wasn't that something...
that was like a New York Post
did?
headline that I never clicked on.
Yeah, I think Cuomo did that. So,
well, that makes sense.
Yeah, Italian.
And a pervert. All right. So we'll pass on that one.
We're passing on that one.
The next one, a website that shows what bar all the West Village blonde chicks are at a certain point in time, called westvillagechicks.com. Yeah, cash. I want to be an investor on that one. Hell yeah.
Cash. Yep.
All right. Then for the last one, for cash or pass, it's called Only Dogs, where you can rent a dog.
No, don't tell me these are fucking dog nudes.
No. Well, dogs are already naked when you think about it, right?
True. Okay,
so...
yeah.
Only dog. Very good point. I know. Only Dogs, where you can rent a dog for a walk in the park to pick up chicks. It's a subscription service. DAAS, DAS, Dogs as a Service.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to the Simpenomics.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into a recurring revenue stream from the subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's, wow. Everyone loves dogs.
Yep.
If you don't love a dog, you are a fucking sociopath.
This is a pro-dog podcast. Also, if anyone is listening who has a Samoyed, can I please play with it? I love Samoyeds.
So, okay, interesting. So, are you going to be able to search for dog types, or
yeah, like I kind of imagine it as like Toro, like or like Airbnb for
cars,
dogs,
yeah.
right? So you got to get the one that like you can vibe with. If you really get along with it, maybe you can kind of it can be a reoccurring subscription based service, whatever you need. I
like that.
Okay,
I am
cash,
hard cash. I actually might hit up BCV for this one.
I think that's the best way to end it. I got a funny story for you. So Samoyeds, these dogs that I love, I've been in this group on Facebook for about a decade, and it's called Samoyed Fans. And the guy who runs it is this Armenian guy who lives in Fort Lauderdale. And so we become friends online, and basically he was just like, yo, we'd be wishing each other happy birthdays, whatever. One day he's like, hey, you're ever in the South Florida area, let me know. You can come over and hang out with the dogs, Armo and Aziz. And so I was like, hell yeah. And I was going to Key West for spring break. And so I get into Florida, and I tell my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, yo, can you drop me off at this dog park? I'm going to go meet up with this dude from the Facebook group. And she's like, yeah, sure. Just drops me off at a random dog park. I got drunk off Smirnoff Ices with this guy named Pronto and his Armenian cousins. And we both understood maybe like 40% of what the other said, but it was awesome.
Interesting story, Mark.
We may cut that one. We'll see. All right. And with that has been our first edition of Cash or Pass. Cash or Pass.
One last thing I will note is that if anyone at Bain Capital Ventures is listening, this is all a joke.
For legal purposes, Bain Capital Ventures, this is all a joke. But for any venture capitalists not associated who are, their interest is piqued, if you will, please contact us.
Yes.
Only dogs coming soon.
Only dogs. Simpenomics.
Simpenomics 101. And with that, thank you so much to our shareholders. We'll be back next week.
This has been Big Swinging Decks by Litquidity with your hosts, Lit and Mark Moran. This is a Red Rock Music podcast and is powered by Acast. Our executive producer is Red Yoakum. Our associate producer is Emma Martins. For more, follow us on Instagram at Litquidity and at It's Mark Moran, or visit the official website liquidity.co. So tune in weekly to your Managing Director Secretary's favorite podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts.